I attract wealth beyond monetary value. Friend, wealth isn't just about money, okay? It's a frequency, it's a feeling, it's literally a whole vibration. It's in your peace, it's in your purpose, and most importantly, it's in your presence. And so when you understand that wealth is more than just money, that abundance is literally just like what keeps you flowing, you move differently. So today's episode is about wealth and how we can tap into the vibration of being wealthy beyond the monetary stuff that we see in society. Are you ready? Get set. Let's grow. Hey friends, hey, welcome back to another episode of From the Ground to the Crown, a podcast community where we grow with intention, elevate our mindset, and step into the highest versions of ourselves unapologetically. I'm your host, your girl, Kenesha B. And as always, I'm hella grateful that you're here with me. Let's get into this wealth conversation, okay? Today's affirmation, and of course, I'm still in Vietnam, so I don't have the card on me, but I do have a picture of it. And so I know what the affirmation and what the card says. The affirmation is, I attract wealth beyond monetary value. And the full message is, I see you, friend, attracting wealth in your life. When you understand that wealth is more than just money, the abundance just keeps flowing. Y'all, I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've had so much money and been so broke. Do you know what I mean? Like bank account on full, but spirits on E. That type of broke. And I've had to learn throughout my decades here on this earth that wealth is so much more than money. And don't get me wrong, right? Because the frequency in this world, on this earth, is that money is the exchange of energy. So you need it. It's not evil, right? It's not a bad thing. It's what keeps you alive. It's what keeps a roof over your head. It's what keeps you being able to afford experiences and moments that you truly want in your life. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. So don't ever accept the truth that money is evil. That's not it, right? Because it's just energy. And so today is all about how we tap into the energy of wealth beyond just money. Because wealth, if we want to look at it from like an energetic perspective, it is attached to the solar plexus chakra. It's like your personal power center. It's the same center that is connected to confidence and your self-worth, and it aligns with your values. And so when you are able to properly align to the frequency of wealth, you naturally just attract abundance. It's like not difficult. I always say to people, of course you can make money, because in this world, on this earth, you don't get paid in gum. You don't get paid in water, right? So if you need money, you just have to attune to the proper frequency of it so that you can attract it your way, because that's what this is. And so when your chakra, your solar plexus, when your vibe is not aligned with abundance, you might feel called to chase it, to be a hustler, to feel like you never have enough of it. You might do all of that and still end up broke on the inside, which is what we're trying to avoid, right? Because wealth doesn't just come to you, it flows through you. That's why it doesn't pay to be selfish. It's just an exchange, and it's not yours. It belongs to the ether. Wealth belongs to the world. That's why there is a wealth of trees and a wealth of water and a wealth of air. It's just a wealth of things here because that is what Earth is. It's just an abundant place. And so again, when you are aligning properly, you understand that it's just an exchange, that you are not made to just hold on to all the money and hold on to all the things. No, just let it flow through you. Which brings me to today's ism. It is, if it costs you your peace, it's too damn expensive. And that is a whole word, which ties into the story. So let me guide you really quickly to my past, which is so abundantly led me to this place that I'm in my life today. I made a lot of money at a very young age, and it wasn't millions, but for somebody in their teens and 20s, I was actually out here cashing out. Okay. I'm a smart girl. I know a lot of great people, and I had some great positions, some great jobs in my life that afforded me more money at a young age than most people around me had. I mean, I think I brought like a pair of Louboutins one Christmas when I was like 19, 20. I was like 20. And I was like, whoo. But it didn't even break my bank because I had it. And they were on sale. I'm gonna just put that out there because I'm not paying full price for anything. But okay, neither here nor there. So I was making a lot of money. I was working a really great job when I was in college, and I worked there for about 3 years. In that time, my health declined so drastically. And if you haven't watched the episode where I talk about almost having a heart attack at 20, I encourage you to tap into that episode. I'll actually link it in this video so that you can watch that one as well. For those who don't know, I was diagnosed with a heart condition at the age of 20 because I had worked myself to the bone. And again, bank account full, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally depleted to the point where my heart attacked me. And it was so much to deal with. And once that situation happened, and once I almost lost my life, I quit. I gave the money up. I was like, it costs too much. It cost me my peace and my heart. That is too damn expensive. And I did it again to myself, kind of, because I graduated and I got another job and I was making some good money, but I was working 12, 16-hour days. I wasn't enjoying my life. I loved what I was doing because it was what I went to school to do, and I really enjoy hospitality, but I was not happy because of all the shit I had to deal with. And it was very taxing to play a part in something that wasn't very fulfilling. Like, it was fulfilling to the bank, but I couldn't spend the money because I was at work. So I was like, what the hell is this about? And in those seasons of my life, I recognized that, you have all this money, right? You're growing your wealth, but you're unhappy and you can't see your friends or do things that you love with your people. And I couldn't really enjoy my wealth. Like, yes, I could, the lights were on and I didn't miss a meal and I was able to go hang out when I could hang out, but it wasn't a balance for me. It didn't feel very good to me to have my bank account on full and everything else on E. And then I recount the times in my life where I didn't have a lot of money. On the last episode, I talked about quitting my job and not working a full-time job for 3 years. And my bank account was not full. Okay. It wasn't on E, but it damn sure wasn't full. And if you're an entrepreneur, there's seasons for everything, right? And so I had enough to make it, and I did good, and I still was able to do the things that I love when my bank account wasn't on full because my spirit was. I was so wealthy in friendships and in love and in peace that it brought all the other points of wealth my way, that I never missed a payment and I never missed a meal. And I got to meet and see and experience so many people and things that the money part of it was it was in the back. It was very subconscious. And I wasn't even thinking like, oh my God, I got to make more money. Oh my gosh, I got to, I wasn't hustling. I was doing what I loved. And it brought me so many more opportunities that I was like, dang, there is something to this, right? And I'm not saying don't work. That is not what I'm saying. Okay? So please do not take this as that. But what I am saying is when you prioritize making money over everything, you will pay. You will pay dearly. And sometimes you can't reverse what you've done to yourself. Because again, if it costs you your peace, it's too damn expensive. And my husband and I were having a conversation today, and he brought this up where he says, he was watching a video, and in the video, someone was asked, would you want $1 million or something like that? And of course they said, hell yeah, right? Like, yeah, they want $1 million. And they said, well, person asked them, okay, would you take $1 million if you were going to die, if it meant that you had to die tomorrow? And of course they flipped the script. Like, no, they don't want the money. Well, duh, because your life is more valuable than that. Like the things that we get to do here are more valuable than just dollars. And sometimes it takes people learning the hard lessons, like being diagnosed with a heart condition and almost having a heart attack. Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time to recognize when we've gone too far in the deep end. But I'm sharing this to say, I hope it doesn't take you that far. I hope it doesn't take you that long to learn that there are so many things that make you wealthy outside of money. And when you focus your energy on those things, you will attract the abundance to you like that. It's just what it is. And I'm living proof of that. Like, I don't have all the money in the world, but you can't tell. I'm out here living. I'm in Vietnam right now. I live in Bangkok. Like, hello. And I come from a little part of Queens, Far Rockaway, little place on the map, the last stop on the A train. And here I am. I did pretty good without the bank being full. It ain't on E, but it ain't full. And I know that I will continue to make money and other forms of wealth because of how I show up in the world, because of what I give to other people, and just because of how I understand the energetic exchange of money to be, how I understand what wealth is to me, and the boundaries that I place on my peace so that other people don't disrupt it for me. I hope that story, even though it wasn't very specific, I hope it means something to you, and I hope it does something to your spirit that helps you recognize that it's time to get into the energy of wealth beyond monetary value. So let's tap into the Root and Rise segment. And this part of the episode is where we take a thought that once had us stuck, dig deep to the root of it, and elevate it to a crowned perspective. And wealth is one of those things. Okay, here are some questions that, matter of fact, let me say this because I don't want to forget this, right? The most money, like I said, I've ever made did not feel good. I was very, very miserable in that season. But here's what I learned. And I'm looking at my notes, y'all. If you're chasing checks at the cost of wellness, at the cost of your health, at the cost of your relationships, you're already in debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, going after money costs you all the things that mean more in this world. You're going to be paying. You're going to pay to play when you play yourself, And that's not what we want. So let's look at these questions really quickly so that we can examine and dig deep to the root of wealth and what that means in our life. The first question is, what areas of your life go bankrupt when your bank account is full? Because sometimes a lot of y'all be showing out when you get a little check. You start talking to people a little differently. You stop going to work. You stop answering the phone. You can't live like that. Don't mess up the relationships. Don't mess up your peace. Don't mess it up at the cost of a check, because you're going to pay for that one. And so look at your life and figure out what areas go bankrupt when your bank account is full. The next question is, what parts of your identity are wrapped in your income? Yeah. Because this society will have you feeling like you're nothing if you have nothing. Whole time, when people don't have much, they are the most jovial, most kind-hearted, the most beautiful beings that I've ever experienced in this world. Barely have 3 shirts and 3 pants. And you don't have to be broke and poor and all these things. You don't have to be impoverished to be happy. You don't have to. Wealth and happiness coexist together. I'm like working on continuing this and making it long-term for myself. But you do have to recognize what parts of your identity are tied into your income. Because you should be okay. You should be yourself. You need to be 10 toes down who you are, regardless of what your bank account looks like. And if that is not the case, then babe, you got some work to do. And that's okay. You got time, but you got to do the work. The next question is how, and sometimes when, but how does society's definition of wealth cause you to neglect your well-being? Again, living proof here. I know it all too well. Out here working myself to the bone and forgot that I don't control my heart. Girl, like out here working to death is crazy at 20, at any age. But 20, no. Quit. I quit. I'll quit again. I'll quit at whatever. At the cost of my health and my peace and my wellness, I quit. And society, again, will have you thinking that the definition of wealth means you have to work to death, which is insane because we're here to live. And so examine that. How does society's definition of wealth cause you to neglect your well-being? And how can you change that? Quick. The last question is, what is your relationship with wealth? And this was a big one for me. I'm actually still answering this question to this day because of my experiences with, and this was like before I could even do anything, but I've had experiences where we've been in a shelter, we've been homeless, I've lost jobs, we've been without. And sometimes those experiences like to rear their ugly head up and try to taint my relationship and the vibration of wealth that I currently have. And I'll start getting fear-minded or, have a fear mindset and start holding on and, penny pinching on everything. And that cannot be. It doesn't serve me. And I have a beautiful friend in Atlanta who reminds me of how wealthy I am every time I try to get into this mindset of poverty. He will remind me like, girl, you're going to have to spend it, okay? Because it's going to come back to you. And I'm so grateful for friends who see me and remind me of who I am and who I'm not. And if you don't have those type of friends in your life, find them. I'm here for you. I got your back. I'm your girl. But you do need to surround yourself with people who remind you that you are a wealthy individual and that poverty is not your birthright. No. And so when you examine your relationship with wealth, if it's not the healthiest relationship, you can do something about it. You can pivot on it. You can change that. And you can do it. You can start it today. So let's move on to the rise segment because, again, wealth is how energy flows. It is like embedded into your values. It is your rest. It's your joy. It's your peace. It's your happy. It's your contribution to this world. It's just an exchange of energy. And it's your ability to be intentional with and how and where you decide to give that energetic exchange. And so to attract wealth, you just have to align with it. You should want to ask yourself, what will I do with this wealth? Where will I put it? Am I creating the space to receive this wealth? Those are the questions that you probably should be asking yourself if you're trying to get some money or if you're trying to become wealthy. And I'm not talking about being rich because that's a whole nother segment. That's a whole nother, a whole different mindset. I'm talking about wealth, right? The things that like I don't even know how to describe it because it's many feelings, but for me, wealth looks like time freedom. Looks like the freedom to go to the beach on a Wednesday at 11 a.m. because I want to. It looks like being able to buy a flight to Bali because it's one of the places that I really love being. It looks like going to France to get croissants because that's what I feel like doing. That's what wealth is to me. And so because I know what I want to do with my wealth and because I have a clear understanding of how I'm creating space for it, I get it. The money comes, the people come, the time comes, the beach comes, the flights come. It all comes to me. I always say I don't create these things. These things already exist. Money is made every day for me to make it. It just is out there. And before it was printed, now it's electronic. So you can really easily attract wealth. Look at all of those influencers and all these people on YouTube and everywhere else just attracting money because it's literally just on a computer, just zeros and ones and a whole bunch of other numbers dialed into you. That is just energy. And so if you're looking at wealth and you're holding on to it because you don't think you're going to get more of it, or you're not sharing it and being selfish with it, or you're just stressed about it, you are out of alignment with the energy of abundance. You will not attract it. And if you do attract it, you won't keep it. That is not it at all. And so you have to ask yourself again, what do you want it for? What are you going to do with it? Are you creating the space to receive and to give it? Because if you just want it for yourself and you're not putting it back out there, I'm just going to pray for you. I'll say that. But let's get into the rise questions. And this is where we're elevating our thought beyond those root questions. The first one is, what makes you feel wealthy beyond money? And I already gave you my examples, but you should want and know the answer to that question, like with clarity. What makes you feel wealthy beyond money? Right now it's my health because I'm just so happy to be healthy and alive. But I hope that you have clarity in that question as well. The next one is, what does abundance look like in this current season? Yeah, because it changes and that's fine. But again, you have to know the answer to that question. What makes you feel abundant? What does abundance look like in your life right now? Is it family? Is it love of your job? Is it being able to travel? What does that look like for you? Third question, what boundaries do you need to preserve your wealth? For me, I know one thing. I don't hand out money for free. I don't give it like that. I don't care if I knew you, know you, gonna know you. No. Because my money has direction. I'm putting it out there intentionally. I pray over it and I receive it back times 10. And so I don't lend money like that. I don't play around, not to friend, not to family, not to foe. It's not one of the things I do. That is one of my boundaries. And because I have my money in savings and in stocks and in various places, I tell it where I want it to go so that it makes more money for me. I'm never broke. Like my wealth is growing beyond me because it has direction. But you also have to ask yourself, what boundaries do you need to be in place in order to preserve what that wealth and that money and that time and that freedom looks like? Do you need to say no more often? Do you need to cut people off? Maybe you need to move. I did that too, but ask yourself, what boundaries do you need? And then the last question is, how can I redirect my energy to support long-term wealth? And this is the big one because again, money, wealth, time, freedom, it's all energy. It's like, that is all this is. And so if you are not attracting or receiving what you'd like, it's probably because you're out of alignment. Like vibrationally, your frequency is off. And if your frequency is off, you just don't get it. It's not coming your way. It's like trying to listen to the radio. You're trying to listen to Hot 97, 97.1 for my New Yorkers, but the radio is tuned to 107.5. You're not going to hear the songs you want to hear because it's not the same. It's not the frequency you want. And so you have to determine, where is my frequency right now? Where's my vibration, and what is it attracting? And then how can I redirect it to be what I want it to be, to attract what I want it to attract? And once you figure out how to do that, you become an alchemist, right? And that is exactly where we need to be. We need to be alchemists out here. And once you do that, the money gonna come, the time's gonna come, the freedom's gonna come, the happiness, the joy, the peace, the love, all of it just comes your way tenfold. And so I hope you take those questions, friend, and I hope that they help you to determine how to tune into the energy of wealth in your life, and how to define what that looks like, and how to place those boundaries to preserve it for yourself, because you do deserve it. Wealth is our birthright. Okay. This is something new that I've never done before. And I need to look at my notes for this one, because I really like tapping into wealth, because it's not just one size fits all. It looks different for everybody. But one of the things that I align wealth with is astrology, right? And just like how you have love languages that help you feel loved and that show you what it takes to fill your love cup, I believe that your birth chart also can help you feel abundant. And I'm going to call it the wealth cup, right? So I want to talk about what astrologically helps to fill your wealth cup, because that's how the stars work. So if you look at your second house, your Venus, and your Jupiter placements in your birth chart, these are 3 areas that can help you attract abundance, help you determine what it is that you value, and where you can expand those things. So I'm just going to go over the signs really quickly, and I am not an astrologer, so talk to your girlies, or, the guys out there who are into astrology, but this is what I've learned, read, and understand. For Aquarius, I'm starting there. No, let's start with Aries. I think we just left Aries season. For Aries, wealth is autonomy and bold action. And if these are true, drop them in the comments. So Aries, we got autonomy and bold action. Taurus, wealth equals comfort and sensory luxury. I know that's right. Gemini, wealth equals knowledge and meaningful conversation. Cancer, wealth equals emotional safety and home. Leo, wealth is recognition and joy. Hello. Virgo, wealth is service, order, and routine. Libra, wealth equals harmony and connection. Scorpios, wealth for you looks like emotional depth and transformation. Sagittarius, wealth looks like travel, truth, and expansion. Capricorn, wealth is legacy and achievement. Yes. Aquarius, wealth is impact and authenticity. And last but not least, my Pisces gang, wealth looks like creativity and spiritual flow. Now, if you're not feeling wealthy, it's probably because you're not filling up your wealth cup with the things that actually mean something to you, with the things that matter to you. So I want you, like I said, if you know your birth chart, if you're into astrology, and even if you're not, DM me your placements and let's talk about it, because I'll send you a voice note that helps to decode some of this for you. And again, we're looking at the second house, your Venus, and your Jupiter placements. And your second house is, I don't want to get this wrong, so let me look it up really quickly. Again, not an astrology girl. Okay, second house astrology. Boom. Okay, so your second house represents the house of values and finances. Duh, right? And then Jupiter is a planet of expansion, while Venus is love and what you're attracted to. So this is why it makes sense to know your birth chart and to kind of tap into astrology, because it just helps you to understand more of who you are, right? Who you are as a being, as a star seed here on this earth. And once you figure out your birth chart, it's like cracking the cheat code. You level up crazy. And again, if you're not into astrology, it's fine. But if you want to know more, DM me and I got your back. Okay, So I want to close this episode out today with a loving mantra. And I want you to say this with me. Repeat after me. I am already wealthy in peace, in purpose, and in power. I'm going to say it 2 more times. I am already wealthy in peace, in purpose, and in power. And last time, we're going to say it with some right? Take a deep breath. I am already wealthy in peace, in purpose, and in power. Beautiful, friends. I love that. You already have the vibration of wealth on you. You just got to tune it up, okay? And don't forget, if you don't have the support, I got your back, okay? Just comment below and DM me and we'll talk it through. The affirmation of today, again, is I attract wealth beyond monetary value. And if it costs you your peace, it's what? Too damn expensive. Beautiful people, as always, please, please, please continue to share this episode. Share all the episodes of From the Crown to the Ground. They help me to know what it is that, the people are looking for, because I like to give the people what they want. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And send this to a friend that needs the reminder that they are wealthy beyond monetary value. Let us fill up our wealth cups today by doing things that we love, that we value, that bring us so much joy. And let's stay healthy through this process. Don't forget, I'm on Instagram and Threads at It's Kenesha B and at To The Crown Pod. That's the number 2, The Crown Pod. And if you want to join my intimate broadcast channel community on Instagram, DM me the word join and I will send you the link. That's it, friends. I'm done for today. Thank you so much for journeying with me. Next episode, we are talking about being intentional, and I hope you stick around and tune in. All right, have a great one. Ready? Get set. Let's grow.